Orcs in Dungeons and Dragons, D&D, are like those grumpy neighbors who always complain about your lawn being too long, except they do it with a scowl and a rusty battle axe. They're the gym bros of the fantasy world, with muscles in places you didn't even know had room for muscles. However, their leg day is a myth, like a unicorn or a dragon that enjoys a good book. Their diet is as refined as a dumpster diver's, featuring an exotic mix of raw meat, preferably something that was running 5 minutes ago, mushrooms of dubious origin, and the rare, guilt induced leafy green. Orcs speak a language that sounds like someone trying to argue with a mouthful of peanut butter, and their social skills are on par with a troll in a tea party. Orc anatomy is a sight to behold, resembling a Swiss Army knife, where every tool is just another bulging muscle. Built like a fantasy version of a refrigerator with limbs, these creatures have a natural resting face that screams, "I haven't smiled since the last time I pillaged a village." Their underbites are so pronounced they could probably eat an apple through a picket fence, and their skin tones range from sunset after a forest fire to midnight with a chance of darkness. Their ears, akin to satellite dishes, are always tuned to the frequency of trouble, and their eyes showcase a perpetual look of, "I've seen things you people wouldn't believe," like a goblin trying to read. Orc hair is the stuff of legends, versatile enough to be a home for birds, a mop, or a statement piece at a punk rock concert. The ecology of orcs is like a rock concert in a fantasy forest, where every tree is a potential mosh pit participant. Orc homes are a blend of prehistoric caved chic, and I built this with what I found in the woods, and I'm proud. The Orcish diet is a culinary adventure into the world of if it moves, it's food. If it doesn't, it's probably still food. In terms of family dynamics, imagine a family reunion, but with more shouting, occasional wrestling, and a strong undercurrent of might makes right. Orcs are spiritual in their own headbanging way, worshipping gods who probably wear leather jackets and know how to play the electric lute. Orc society is akin to a medieval high school cafeteria. The social hierarchy is simple. The biggest, loudest orc sits at the head of the table. Their government structure is basically a series of shouting matches and arm wrestling contests, which are their version of political debates and elections. Education in Orc society focuses on crucial subjects like introduction to grunting and the philosophy of smashing. Their artistic expression is unique, with music that sounds like a mix of war cries and a bear with a sore throat. Family life is charming in a rough and tumble way, with children learning the fine arts of sword swinging and battle axe etiquette before they can even spell orc. Orc strategy in battle is like playing checkers, but every piece is just a bigger orc with a bigger weapon. Their tactics are straightforward: yell loudly, charge blindly, and consider strategy as an optional extra, like a salad at a barbecue. They embrace the element of surprise, mostly because they're often surprised they had a plan to begin with. Orcs approach stealth like a bull in a china shop trying to tiptoe. Siege warfare, it's more of a BYOB, bring your own boulder event. Diplomacy in orc culture is as subtle as a fireball in a library, and if orc battle tactics were a book, it would be titled Screaming and Smashing for Dummies. Orc warfare is the epitome of organized chaos. If by organized, you mean everyone just yells and charges. Their approach to battle is a mix of sheer bravado and the strategy of hit it till it stops moving. Orc formations resemble free-for-all wrestling matches more than disciplined ranks, and their siege weapons are basically anything they can lift and hurl at the enemy. In terms of defense, orcs follow the philosophy of the best defense is not being there when the enemy attacks, but if you are, hit them harder. Their battlefields are like dance floors, where everyone's steps are just different ways to swing a weapon, and the music is the sweet, discordant melody of battle cries and clanging metal. Orc diplomacy in D&D is like trying to have a polite conversation in the middle of a bar brawl. It's less about exchanging pleasantries and more about seeing who can grunt the loudest without actually resorting to swinging their axe. When orcs negotiate, it's a spectacle of intimidation, arm wrestling, and the occasional headbutt for good measure. Their diplomatic meetings resemble a standoff between rival sports fans, each side trying to outdo the other in displays of toughness and bravado. Imagine a diplomatic envoy where the ambassadors are chosen based on how loudly they can yell and how menacingly they can brandish their weapons. Orc emissaries are like bouncers at a rowdy tavern, where the idea of a compromise is letting you speak for a whole minute before they start disagreeing with you. In summary, orcs in Dungeons and Dragons are the epitome of chaotic, boisterous fun in a fantasy setting. They bring a level of humor and straightforwardness that's as refreshing as it is entertaining. From their over the top anatomy and peculiar social customs to their delightfully simple approach to warfare, orcs add a layer of comedic relief to the often serious realms of fantasy role playing. Their society, a wild blend of high school cafeteria politics and rock concert mosh pits, offers endless opportunities for humorous roleplay and storytelling. The Orcish approach to diplomacy, a mix of intimidation and accidental comedy, highlights their unique charm in the world of D&D. Whether they're swinging axes in battle, negotiating with the subtlety of a thunderstorm, or just trying to get through a meal with their oversized underbites, orcs in D&D are a source of both laughter and adventure. They remind us that amidst the dragons, magic, and epic quests, there's always room for a good laugh, especially if it's accompanied by the sound of an orc trying to whisper.